This is the cutting edge, and I FM there with you next Wednesday.
This is Black History Month. You know, we always celebrate Black History, but in February, we kind of emphasize it more because we feel, say, African people need to really get into themselves more. And one of the things that you can do is read. If you can't read, you go to the Google thing or the YouTube and forget about the little little and find something educational as relates to the contribution of African people to world history and civilization. You know, see, especially the millennials, them we attack, you know, and the little youth, them out there, we always have flash them iPhone and I look for Rary and Lele. You understand? It's that full up a whole heap of one head now. Them don't want nothing educational to make them think positive or think in a way where them can go to them brethren and say, tell me something, what you think about this or what you think about that? You understand? Man, those shows all sort of like a foolishness. So, this period of the year, February, is celebrated as such, where you reflect on the contribution of African people upon world history. And it's a great history too, great history. We have things where, if you start to examine them, you never even know, say, them things that did come out of Africa. All the very concept of God come from Africa. But people don't even know that. A lot of the things that people say as Christianity, the rituals and the arguments that is given by Christians, it have a genesis in Egypt, or what we call Kemet. You know, Kemet is the name for Egypt before it was Egypt. You understand? And you have a guy named Alexander the Greek. People call him Alexander the Great. Him go there and take a whole heap of the books them out of the libraries them. Them call it Alexandria for him and him burn it down. As usual, them burn a lot of the books them and what them think them can use, them carry go back to Greece and really use it for them own purpose and really change up the historical references to Africa and make it look like, say, a lot of these things happen in Europe. And you hear about, man, when you go to school, you hear about Pythagoras. Pythagoras was studying in Egypt for 20 years. So all of those theorems that you hear about Pythagoras, A squared plus this squared equal that squared and all them something there, it's not originally Greek. A lot of the philosophical reasoning and arguments is not originally Greek. You them talk about Plato and Socrates and all these people, Homer. Like when Africans was formulating what we call science and technology, there was no argument about Greece and Rome and all these places. Them places never exist as a nation. Them places never exist as countries that one can say this place exists and that place exists. Thousands of years before these places was, Africa was, Egypt was. You understand? And then you have Ethiopia. You have even the Sumerians. The Sumerians is one of the most ancient, what we call, people who formulate a lot of the things them that we take for granted now. Them formulate these things. So what we are getting is like a fringe. Fringe is copies from copies from copies and copies and copies till it reach long as so now that it lose the original essence. And people now come and believe in things that them actually believe say so the thing go. And most of these stories is mythologies. But you can't tell people nowadays that certain things where they talk about no is mythology. They must say where you get them foolishness from. But we know some of foolishness. We know some whole heap of the belief systems. A whole heap of the belief systems derive from other ancient principles. Even we are talking about ancient principles, even in Persia, the Sumerians did have certain belief system, certain systems that them use. Even scientifically, you did have the Indian them who have the Buddha. People ever want to talk about the Buddha. But the idea of Buddha, all the attributes that you say, them say Jesus will have. The Indian, them claim that Buddha did have it. The Chinese, them claim that Buddha did have it. And Buddha did exist 500 years before the man with them call Jesus. 500 years. Did you know that Buddha was said to born on the 25th of December and he died and was risen and is said to come back again? Did you know that when you say Amen, it's coming from the sun Aman Ra? The Christians, even though they fight against what them call paganism, use pagans' way and words to deal with for them religion and don't even know it. It's like ignorance is a blissful thing. So when we talk about all amen, a whole heap of Christians don't know the origin of amen. When them say amen at the end of a prayer, amen at the end of a prayer is what the Egyptians do when they're giving praises to the sun, and them say amen, Aman, Ra, Ra the sun, the eye of Horus. When it on the right, it represents the sun. When it on the left, it represents the moon. All these things is very important, because if we had known what we know now then, or if we didn't know then what we know now, or whatsoever, things would be different. What we know now, if we had known it before now, things would be different. And that is really what we need to do now. We need to recapture our history. History is very important, because history defines you in the space, in this time. And if you don't have no history, and if you can't identify your history, that means that people, other group of people will wagga you all over the place. Make you just go either and either and don't know where you're going, and make you believe in some really strange belief systems. Strange. I mean, like strange things. If you start out and say 1 and 1 is 3, then 7 and 5 can't be whatsoever you say it is. You understand? Because you start out wrong, you end up wrong. So, we need for what we call Sankofa. The bird that fly and then turn back and look behind him. You have to go back to come forward. How much time you hear these stories told? I know a lot of you don't hear it many times, but so much things have been said on this radio station that's unbelievable over the years. We're talking about how history shape a group of people in the present. And if some people come and change up the history to satisfy themselves and them group and put you in the dark and make you feel, say, you're not a part of world history, you're not a part of how the earth shape. We are talking about spiritually, economically, socially, culturally, and all the other alism you can think on. African people have a foot inside of those things. We have a foot in it. And it's just through them don't want to really wake up from the sleep and slumber. Why people can just take over here and throw over there and take over here and put over there so. And then we just accept, we lot. This is how it's supposed to be. And we just accept it. Meanwhile, other nations is moving forward, is striving. Striving, me say. That is what other nations is doing. So, we just want the people them know, say, it's very important that we synchronize now with them. Synchronize it. What has been before us have a direct relationship to what is happening to us right now. The ignorance that we claim bliss in is something that we need to come again, rewind, and figure out. It's not so it's supposed to go. It's not supposed to so it go. We're not so terrible more than everybody else. Even though people want to tell us, say, the reason why we are going through this, are true with sin against God. So with other nation, we have murdered other people, and have murdered them not sin against God. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is the cutting edge on IRFM. The relationship where we don't have with history, and how history feed into what is taking place here right now. And some people take it lightly when they hear about history. You know, even at school. When I like at school, it's European history, I didn't know. And them teach about all of the Cromwells and all of the Napoleons and all of them things there. Now, we come of age now and we have a knack for finding out things. So we dig deep and find out, say, the things them that should help we and benefit we was not taught. You understand? It was not taught. Because they would have prefer you go to church than go to school. That is really what's happening. They would have accept you more in church than in the school, especially if it's a certain ilk from the society. I mean, know that about Rasta too. They would have prefer if a Rasta have a lock said and him come at church, him is welcomed. Well, school is a different thing. So you can say how them run the thing. Indoctrination, education. And right now we need educated African people. Educated. And you have some people that them educated, but them use them education for do evil things and spoil things. We need some education where we can build things, build societies, build science and technology, build, not break down. And we have to do that with self. Because the system, the school system has failed us in many ways. Whole heap of ways it failed we. What I am doing now and what I do when I leave school, I never learn where I do in a school. Most of the things where I come now, come live by and come earn after. It's not in a school I have it, and I know a whole heap of youth out there can say the same thing too. But you have things where you learn out a road where make you incomplete. Yes, you're incomplete. Certain things make you incomplete. Certain influences, certain of your peers, them do have nothing to contribute to your positive development. Nothing. Hang-arounds. People who wait and pitch by you. Nothing them contribute. Because them don't have anything. And when you look on the youth them on the roadside, early morning, you see them on the roadside with a plastic cup and little liquor in it and a spliffing at them hand. You know, say, something is wrong. How come the youth them couldn't have a book in them and talk to one another about it? And if them have something where them can observe, it's upon the iPhone. And what upon the iPhone is not something that is desirable to make someone become a better person in them life. You understand? Better person we are work with. So when we come on this Black History Month now, we talk about what is it that we're not getting. Something we're not getting. We're not getting it because it come like the politicians and the preacher them is bad habit, continuous bad habit. Nobody wants to try something new. Them is following the colonial master continuously. And you can see that in the society right now. And you can see the influence of these things in the society. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to do anything about it. You know? So, we are recommend learning. We are recommend going into the iPhone. Because we can't say book again. Because you have no youth. Unless you go to school. But you have no youth to walk up and down with book in your pocket again. Or even have a book in your hand. You understand? Because this is not the days now for book in your hand. This is the days for iPhone. And it's the iPhone now have everything where you want to know in the iPhone. Everything. It's like a brain without a head. Everything where you want to know in the iPhone. So you can't say you don't know again, you know. You can't say you don't know again. If somebody asks you something and you hear something said, if you hear something said, even if you hear a word where you don't understand, you're supposed to kind of just Google that word and find the meaning of the word and then understand what the person that say. And that means see them iPhone thing they're good for, you know. I see them type phone good for us. Make me have a certain background of what is said to me, especially when you hear certain people say certain things, you hear certain people quote certain things. You hear that man I say, in Isaiah this, that. You just go look for Isaiah and see what I say. Or in a this, that man saying that Peter's, or in a Matthew man say that. You can just Google that, you know, right away. And the whole chapter. If not, you can read all the whole book. The Quran, the same thing. You can't Google anything in the Quran. You can't Google anything in the Bhagavad Gita. I know you don't even know what I talk about. But these are books long before the Bible was written. Long before. It has stories in it that is necessary and important for development. You know, see it? We're too one-sided. We get one thing, one story, and that story is supposed to be this story, and every other story is wrong story. And we don't even know, say, it's not our story, it's his story. But we suck it, we lap it up. We lap it up to the point where we argue over it too. We argue over things where it no go so, it no really go so, but you don't know because you're ignorant to the real truth of the thing. Because how them bring it to you, them bring it as a truth. And you don't know, say that is not the truth. You know, see it? You don't know, say it's not the truth. You see it as a truth. And when you dig deep and deeper, you realize, but really, you mean someone really did believe this all the while, Rasta, and not no go so. Some people afraid of that, you know. Some people afraid. After them hold on on something, and them go find out, say, that's something there, wrong. Them afraid for come back and say, you know, say, right, that while me hold on on that, you know. But not no go so. Not no go so. Because as new information is presented, you're supposed to can use your thinking and analyze it, the new information. And sometimes the new information don't even match up with where you think, where you believe in. And the greatest thing is to know, say, you move, you advance. And as we always say, doubt is one of the greatest methods of investigation. Because when you start to doubt, you start to check out things and you say, you doubt this. And if you doubt it, you're going to investigate to say why you doubt it. And then you're going to find out the truth about it. So doubt is a move towards something greater than where you would have think. So don't be afraid of doubt neither. Don't afraid of doubt. You see it? Doubt is why people advance further and further. You see it? A youth, a child learn to walk. Him actually want to walk, you know, but him doubt him steps. You ever see some old people a move? The way them a move, you know, it's like them want to move and do certain things, you know, but them doubt themselves. You know, see it? And that is we have knowledge too. Knowledge tend to have that kind of vibration where You sup in some knowledge, and sometimes a little knowledge is better than no knowledge at all, because sometimes a man use a little knowledge and feel say him know everything. You have some people, them reach a certain stage and then them stop search. Like say, where them reach now is the final destination, and them not go nowhere else, and them tell you, say them reach there, and it not make no sense that you try to show them, say there's somewhere else to go. And you can see that in our political system, you can see that in our religious system. Our religious system don't allow us to move further, even if information is presented. And that is the greatest thinking. When information is presented, you must be able to analyze those information and come to a fuller understanding of self. Fuller understanding of self. You're supposed to look upon this information and say, look here, you know, say, when we look into that, it can't really go so, you know. And when we look into that, there's more to it than we meet the eye, you know. Because you need information. And we're going to repeat it. The man with the greatest inspiration is the man with the most information. Because you cannot be inspired outside of information. Is information inspire the brains? Information inspire you. So when a man say, boy, right now him get inspired, and him I put it over to some supernatural thing, all that come from in our brains, and him say, information. So inspiration without information lead you to superstition. Man must understand, information is the most important thing towards what we call it inspiration. And if a man say he is inspired, it's because him have a certain information about something, him get about it. And if you want to think, say, it's a supernatural thing that inspire you, then you know, say, you're gone in another way. Then you won't search for information. And you come to some little irrational conclusions continuously. Continuously, just irrational. You ever see some people just erratic, just behave erratic, and they don't know why they might do or say things, they just behave erratic. And when they behave erratic, they feel say them on the right path. But them don't have enough information. So they are inspired by something that is so-called beyond them. Like a man I say, boy, you know, say, I don't know, normal thing, this, you know. And he must say it, you know, he must say, I don't know, normal thing. What is not a normal thing? Where he might think? Where he might think? We have to move out of those irrational thoughts that carry to some supernatural things. When all the things them that we ever need is right here. There is nothing upon the earth that never come from the earth. There is nothing on this earth that never come from this earth. And anything man do, him can undo. Anything man recognize as something beneficial to man, him can use the same thing and make it destroy man. And one of the things that him use is your mind. Him use your mind to destroy your very inner being, inner death, inner soul. So when you start to figure out things for yourself, you yourself look like you're irrational. When you start to come to the truth for yourself, it don't coincide with where you was taught. And I guess now the jostle between what you was taught and what you now know as the truth. The truth don't connect with what you was taught many moons ago or many miles ago or many time ago. And you start, some people get confused. When them start realize, all of that when them was taught was lie, them start to get crazy. And some people start to recognize, No. We're not going to get crazy because we come know the truth. You know. We're going to move forward. Forward we move. And that is what the truth is supposed to be all about. The truth is supposed to make you move forward. Doubt is supposed to make you move forward. Not forward into illusions and delude yourself about certain things where you don't know about. You know, see? But sometimes you can't rationalize what you know and what you should know. Because given where we have to deal with, we have one thing in front of we. And the one thing in front of we, I tell we, say, this is what it is all about. It's hard to tell a man, say, well, you know, say, if you did in Saudi Arabia, maybe you'll be a Muslim. And maybe you did in Tibet, maybe you'll be a Buddhist. It's hard to make him believe, say, you know, so when you are see a whole lot of people, they might hear about them something there yet. And them have a rationale to tell you, say, yeah, but every man are going to hear about it. Every man. Because every man have to come to where he must say, where he must think, where he must believe. You know, see it? So that is why you have so much wars and rumors of wars and nation and fight against nation. Because every man thinks, say, him have the right way. Him have the right thing. And when you look at all democracy come out of Europe. Communism come out of Europe. Protestantism come out of Europe. Roman Catholicism come out of Europe. And these are the things that control your mind. Because that is where the thing there, you know, is your mind that I try control. Them I try control. Them control your mind. And you know the man say your mind is a terrible thing for waste. We need to understand that most of the things them that we call truth is a next man truth and not our truth. Because we have come from a different side of the earth. Our ancestors have come from a different side of the earth. And we have a DNA that is totally different. And when we say totally different, we mean in ways, in cultural expressions. Because culture is the highest expression where you can find. If you take all the study, socialism, or social living, if you take religion, if you take politics, all of these things come from culture. All religions derive from a cultural understanding of the environment in which it was formed. That's why they must kill people in Saudi Arabia, or women in Saudi Arabia, for drive car. At least just the other day, I don't know if them change it, but it's years them have that. They must kill you, a woman, if she drive car. Can you imagine that? And them don't see it as wrong. Them don't see it as wrong at all. You know what I'm saying? Man go to war because of these religious beliefs and these political ideas. And when you look down the line of it, most of it is lies. And when you come find the truth for yourself, you look like you're outers. So it's time now, especially in a Black History Month, to wake up and live. Live, not just have life, but have it abundantly. And look upon how the trees and the birds, the flowers and the bees and all these things, the water, because even water have life. Water have life. Last night I spent most of my time, I look upon the sea. I watch it just go in and come out. The water just roll back and come forward. And every time it come forward, somebody splash higher upon the rock them. And we just look upon it and I say, but look at that. Can you imagine this go on every second, every minute of the day, and it not change the water? Yet still guess what? All it there are going like it now do nothing. Man can't survive without it. Man can't survive without the water. All you see where I go on. And even though it look like it now do nothing, it do many, many, many things. Because the life forms will exist in that water, maybe it's more than the live farm with upon the dry land. Maybe. Never get a chance to count it. But we just have to say that. Well.
Yes, more than ever.
Yeah, man, there, man. All right.
Yes, sorry. I want to tell you, saying, Brownstone, your fan base big in Brownstone in Orange Hill.
Orange Hill, all right.
Orange Hill, Lower Buxton, Middle Buxton, Mirror Buxton, South Valley, Chester, Minard Hill. Everywhere you turn, man, you read all in
the radio book.
Right now.
The radio book.
Yeah, pass. Radio turn on in the hardware market lock already. And you can shop in the bus bar, that's a CMA, then let the radio on for FM, that's a CMA.
So what you do? You drive up and down and look on all these places where the radio them on?
No, everywhere I got show, man, because you don't know what I Brownstone people already, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, man, so I tell you, say, people them rate the back side, although people rate everywhere still, but Brownstone area, so
especially.
You have a large amount of years of listening, you know?
Yeah, give thanks to hear that.
Yeah, man, I want elder just beg me do. Send one little birthday shirt out, one little happy belated birthday, you know, long still. You know?
Then go on through, man, I don't know.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Annette Shaw. Anyway, you're there in Ireland. Come from St. Diego, St. Ann. Greetings that come from your husband, Subby. I don't know how to St. Diego there, so. Yeah, him love you very much, and he say happy Valentine when he come see me. So, Annette Shaw, big up yourself, study. You know, I run an Alva, so Clydesdale. Right now, I'm there from my veranda talk to you, and all I read of them, but to place everything up on Irish team, I'm Mutabaruka. You hear me?
All right, sir. All right, give thanks.
Yeah, man. And Jeffrey said, big up. And big up to the Moody and the James family and the whole Brownstone St. Ann.
All right,
all
sir.
I listen to them, all listen to FM. Big up.
Blessed, give thanks.
Yeah, I'm want one more thing. I'm want Babsy Green give one of them passport. They like why engaging me clip, you know. You deserve, you know, elder.
All right, sir.
All heap of thing you do for this country.
All right, sure I listen, man. Sure I listen.
Yeah, man, I just hope you get it. I'm there, I wait to hear it on the news or on the media somewhere about there, you know?
Yeah, CL, blessed.
Yeah, Mutabaruka.
All right, sir.
Give thanks. Muta.
Yes, sir.
My call tonight just say commend you on the great job you've been doing over the years.
Yeah.
Our son is 19-year-old, and the day I decided to start listening to your program, a friend of mine named Romain Green.
Oh gosh, man, I'm a virgin, man.
Yeah, man, he and I decided to come together and decide to start post a program on YouTube anyway. He's listening to me now, so big up from me.
So what do I name?
Marlon, my name. I live in UK at the moment.
Okay.
I called him before, man. It's the same guy that lived down in Bath there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
him send you, without saying anything, but him send you a website to go on. You see it upon him YouTube page.
I don't think he posted it yet, but he and I was speaking about it.
Him send it, man. It depend it, man, because some people out of England tell me, say, them like where him do, you know, so.
Yeah. He always informative when it comes to your program.
Yeah, man.
In that sense, it's something we talk about on a daily basis. But what I want to say to you, that ever since I started listening to your program, I decided to start educate myself.
Yes.
About my history, etc. blah. And I have a 19-year-old son now, and I see where it paid off last week.
Oh, yeah?
When he actually walked into the room and he actually looked at me and said like that. I just got accepted in university to study law for 4 years.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Beautiful,
so I
beautiful.
want to tell you that don't cheer what the world or what people might say. You're doing a wonderful and a splendid job.
All right, sir. I hear you.
You know what I mean? And my daughter is 18-year-old this year as well, and our main goal is to be a black activist. You know what I mean?
So you have them. You listen to continue before them ban.
Long time, man. I was watching it. The first, let me tell you, there was this guy came from America, got deported in 1991. I'm not like a muta. He saw they used to bother me at night time, you know?
Yeah, if he's a house a cut down, he's a house a cut down.
Yeah, I was 10-year old at the time, but
you serious?
Unfortunately, yes, I was 10 at the time, but unfortunately I grew on it, and you know what I mean, I always admire you as a Rasta man, and by admiring you and Rasta profile and all the other elders, eventually I was inspired to be one of.
Well, we're glad for you about your son, you know. We're glad for you about your son, Bridget. That is really a
beautiful to be honest, I owe that to you.
Yeah.
Personally, because, I mean, I met you once in Birmingham the last time you was here with Dr. Umar Johnson.
Oh,
yeah. And I don't know if you remember when I said to you that everything I done, I owed it all to you.
No, I don't remember about it. You said it.
You know, but like I said, everything that I've known now, you led me onto so many things. Yeah. But I still have to give credit to you because you were the inspiration for everything I've done in my life. And it eventually allowed me to even come back to Jamaica and start economy in terms of business, etc. And it's doing great.
Yeah. What kind of business? You want to tell what kind of business?
Actually, at the moment, my grandparents leave 10 hectares of land, and what I decided to do is to actually subdivide it. And I got 27 lots, and they all sold in like a year.
What?
Yeah.
I tell you, that's one of the good stories, them, man. That's one of the good stories. We love them stories, there, you know. That shows we're not stopping, you know, because when we hear all them things there, we know so we have to do something, you know. So we give thanks.
Mota, listen, man. My mother passed away in 2008, and I mean, she sold in the market, in Mandeville Market, and because she wasn't there anymore, you know, it caused a thing where I was even scared to go in the market knowing that she's not there.
Yeah.
So eventually, I mean, I was here in England and thinking that I really want to go back home, and you know, I just couldn't see the light after she passed away. But when you start the stepping rate, and when you start talk about the farming and things like that, yeah, that was the light.
That you inspire you.
Yeah, man, that inspired me so much, man. And then I find back the love for the country, etc., in terms of living in a sense where I don't have to live like most of the people, etc., but finding joy in the country. So I'm just commending you, telling you that, look, you're doing a splendid job. Your household, to my household, even I have a 4-year-old son, and as soon as he hears your voice, he heads straight to the kitchen.
I will tell you.
You know what I mean?
Well, you know, you say anytime you see me again, I will then hear, just tell me, say, you did call me, and tell me what you talk about, so I can remember.
Yes, and like I said, Romy and I plan to give you a personal visit at some point.
Romy and Green, man, may I tell you, man.
Yeah.
The man.
Yeah.
And Duke Bass, I don't know, Duke Bass look like him can't get it again, but yeah, it's wonderful.
Look like him busy. But anyway, Muta, give thanks.
Yeah, man, give thanks, Bridget. Give thanks to them argument there, you know?
Yeah.
There's nothing in the system of which they create all around. They criticize their own address, yet they would catch at the straw if they were to try. They're not different from those scribes and Pharisees who come around. They looks in the corners, skylarks in the street, flirts in the town. They never do positive. They find a joy making people business their own.
I tell you, Caesar music, yes.
Yeah, Mota.
Yeah, blessed.
Yeah, man, blessed.
I did.
What you think about the song when me hear everybody big up where Shensi I think?
Which song? I don't know the song you're talking about.
Yeah, man, the one when I talk about all the youth, them have to go in fire, press finger.
Oh, you mean, I know Shensi that.
Eh?
It's not Shensi, do it.
Oh.
You know? Yeah, you want to tell you, Stephen?
Eh?
You never hear about Tanya, Stephen?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Tanya Stephen, yeah, man. Mistake me, I make with you.
Yeah, it's a reality wake up song. That's what I know.
Eh?
Yeah, man, it's a reality wake up.
Look on it that way, eh?
No, well, everybody can look at it a different way, but it's a reality wake up. Shall talk to the people them who are responsible for make them know that this is where got happen and this is where should have happen.
Me not look on it on different way, because me not say like, say, well, that I lead the youth and figure do things where...
No, man, it's a message to the politician them, what can happen. If them don't listen to the youth them, this is where got happen. I play it a whole heap of time, man. I play it a whole heap of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel say politicians should have listened. Because every time I play it, I say politicians are open and listen to this, you know, because this is really hardcore stuff we are going on. So, and it's time them listen and stop blame and listen, because a whole heap of the problem is them cause it too.
Yes, that's true. That's true. That's for real.
We have to sit down and listen it again, though. Sit down and listen to it.
I think say if it was a man sing it about the good part, they say woman have sell them good now. But if the woman they would have come down by a man.
No, man, the man is worse than that. Good. It's pretty tough to make it play here. Because you know, she use poetic language to make you understand. And you understand what she say without being crude. You know, it is not crude. When she say it's not crude. But you know exactly what she's saying. That is what you call good poetry. You know, when you can mark something that way, that it can play on the radio and it can make people know exactly what you're talking about. That's why I say that message is for the big guys them. For know so well why right now certain things stay away out the road there. And if you just fix it. You know, if a man sing it a different way, you have some man him couldn't sing it that way there. Him just gone with it, make you can't play it. You know, she has sing it that you can play it, and she have that skill and that intelligence to write a song that talking about the raw things on the street and what the politician them should listen to and make it fit for your player. She have another version I still, you know, but as I said, the language where she use in what you call, you know, them have clean and dirty version. It's a different version when you hear it out there. But the one where we play, when you are listening to them now, it's really a good statement. That's how I see it. All right? Okay. I'm gone. Here we go again. Sizzler. Music. Yo. Okay. All right. Let me take the call. Yeah.
Yeah,
Muta. Blessed man.
Yeah, man, Dingo. Yeah, man.
How you know?
Just keep everything good. Just keep on doing the good work, you know?
Yeah, man. Can't stop. Oh, if you go stop?
Yes. Yeah, no stopping at all, man. You just have to just keep on keeping on. As
I will live, you know, brethren. I will live. You understand?
Exactly. I will live.
Because we are come from the
same.
same.
The thing about it is the consistency. Because it's from our school days at Kingston Technical.
And look how long that ago. About 50 years ago.
Yes, and we do on Switch, and we do on DVA.
Yeah,
from the 1960s and now at 2021.
When the
consistent Marcus Garvey Pan-Africanist work.
Of course.
You know, we know what our men and people and the racists then, you know, we are doing what we have to do one thing. And I want to say, happy belated Earth Strong birthday to my long-time brethren, one of the legends in Jamaican music, Derek Harriet, the musical chariot.
6th of February.
On the 6th of February.
Yeah. And Bunny Ruggs too. Bunny Ruggs' birthday was the 6th of February too.
Yes, and Bunny Ruggs from Manchester, Jamaica. William Clark, birth certificate name, who was born 1948. And also my personal brethren too, Gerald Dunkley, Jamaica's second child recording star in the 1960s after Delroy, because Dennis Brown come third of time, who was 70 years old on Sunday the 7th. You know, I'm talking with Herald, and him in a full joint, and him saying sound system, Black Pepper, was playing, and food and drink for brethren who passed through and things. So, happy 70th Earth Strong Herald Dunkley, Jamaica's second child recording star in the 60s. You know what I mean? Because we know in the 50s you have Jimmy Tucker and Cornell Campbell in the 50s. And Muta.
May I hear you?
Yeah. You know who we have to support? You see, just like how we support President Mugabe,
Yeah.
we have to support President Magufuli of Tanzania. Because the racists, them are come under attack against him, just like what them used to do with President Mugabe.
Yeah.
For several reasons. One, because him say him not legalizing the practice of homosexuality in Tanzania.
Yeah.
And the next thing, he said that we must be careful of taking vaccines for coronavirus from Europeans and others who want to use us as guinea pigs.
Yeah.
And that we should use our own traditional medicine and also create our own medicine, which is in line with what Marcus Garvey said, that is why Marcus Garvey established the Black Cross nurses in the UNIE and ACL organization to deal with our medical thing, because we cannot depend on non-Africans to see about the health of our people. Because you know Muta, you and others, and you know, we play it all the while. You see what them did at Tuskegee, but them infect our people with
syphilis. Yeah, we mentioned it so much time, man. We mentioned it so much time.
And other things. And you know what them do with the native people in the States, because
smallpox,
remember this.
Blanket.
Them infect them blanket with smallpox.
Smallpox blanket, yeah, man.
And kill half the people there.
And I want to tell you next one too, which is the doctor of death in South Africa. When they have put with him in the t-shirt, them what them call it, oh gosh, man, they put my lip a while ago and it come off.
He was coming with that thing where only affect to kill African
a virus, yeah. It's only African people it affect, yes. Yes.
Only African people, yes.
And him admitted in the Truth and Conciliation thing in the court in South Africa. Yeah. And him walk free, brethren.
Yes. Yeah, man.
I tell you.
So chemical and biological warfare. So what them do, you know? Them get a guy from the Congo who based in London to write an article in the Guardian, and they'll send it to you too, because we put a response. To attack him, when the boy from the Congo I say name Vava Tamba, something like that, that Africa must get rid of President Magufuli because he might make people dead and a spread conspiracy thing about vaccine and them thing there. Because you know, anytime them can't do the work to kill our people, I mean character assassination or literally, them get some puppet from our race to the attack, you know. Yes. Yeah, man. So I can send the boy, right, and my refuting of what he wrote and my support to President Magufuli. And if at any time you have the chance, you can read my response on any one of your shows to when put him on, because you know it go. We as Pan-Africanists, you touch one, you touch all. We have to defend each other here.
Yeah, of course.
There's no other way.
Yeah.
Because this is how them operate, you know. Because you notice whether them the New Zealand, we know as Pan-Africanists, whether them the New Zealand, Canada, Australia, them is one whole European Union. And them work in concert together against we as African people. And them always have some traitors. You know, in every generation you have traitors. And we as African people, we must never pet and powder traitors. And I hear you say a thing. You talk about the tune where you play about the politicians and things. The politicians in Jamaica, whether PNP and JLP, them is the major cause, not the only cause, for the problems afflicting Jamaica.
Most of the problem.
You notice that now there is no African consciousness at the political level, you know.
Yeah.
In terms of the PNP and JLP party, you know. You know, in the 70s, there used to be a kind of pretense, at least. But no, absolutely no Pan-African is from neither PNP or JLP. None.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know if you call back still. I don't know if you call back.
We have to keep that consciousness.
I don't know if you call back, you know, because I know you have all the things to talk about.
Marcus Garvey philosophy and opinions is not a compulsory textbook in the school system in Jamaica. And yet, he's the national hero, the first one and the most internationally known one.
Most important one. Most important.
You know?
And I say time and time again on this program.
Really?
You hear me?
Yes.
I say time and time on this program. The philosophy and opinions of Marcus Garvey is more important right now to black people than the Bible.
Exactly.
May I say that non-apologetically.
True, Muta. Say it again.
You know, see it?
Say it again.
Very important. It's the most important book right now for black people. More important than the Holy Bible.
And the Quran.
Yes, yes. So,
because it directly, in other words, the philosophy and opinions of Marcus Garvey is our African Bible.
It relate to me.
Bible in his book.
Yeah. And there's no allegories and mythologies that was stolen from other African people to come to this point. None of it was stolen. When Marcus Garvey write, it's theme philosophy and theme opinion. When you read it, you know what I mean? So, we just say that. Anyway, we have to take this idea and come forward. This is the cutting edge. See if the one still up on the phone. EL? Okay, them are up on the phone. So make we rewind the song here. Here we go. Okay. Oh, the phone a ring. Yes, EL.
Yes, I.
EL?
EL.
Yeah, man.
Yes, I.
I hear you.
Yeah, man. Well, one of our greatest concern in Jamaica is crime and violence.
Mm-hmm.
But there are so many factors that support it. You know?
Like, tell me some of them. Tell me some of the factors.
Our educational, you know, slavery create a factor, the system of governance, and we can go on and on. But we're still looking for the master for all our solution.
What the master?
Go and get a script.
What the master?
Eh?
What the master? What am I look for?
The said Western powers, whether it be Great Britain
or America,
you know, or Canada, or some one of them. Well, they continue to waste our resources, which is our money, to fight crime. You know, them fight till them weary. And what them actually do, you know, the system do, you know, is blow it out of proportion.
Yeah.
They give us numbers of gang. They only want to see 2 youth on a corner. A reason is a gang. Yeah, so them inflate it. The amount of weapon where we buy, and we're not going up against any war against any other country. There's no element in this country to stand up to the security force.
Then the man said 200 guns coming every month. You know, you hear him say that?
You know?
200 guns. Him say 200 guns coming every month. You know, how much of them get when them fight crime? How much?
Yeah. Then, you know, see them tell you how much gang at a certain spot just to put in certain measures. And when them go under some pressure, them say he's a hero, them make. You know?
But it's the same set of youth from the same communities. Them claim say unattached. At the same age, they give them gun to protect a system that is not working, which is the state. How responsible those youth is. You train them for 6 weeks and you give them 3 guns, 4 guns for parade with.
Yeah.
So,
a whole heap of questions for ask and a whole heap of answers necessary.
The amount of billions when we hear them earmark for years for fight crime. You know?
And it can get worse.
Not to develop communities. There are some little so-called program where them say to develop communities. But drainage water still around front of the people them doorway. Sewage still, you know, the people still live in a shack while they still squandering the money. We can have a program to fight crime in every farmer colony. And the same thing happen, you know, whether in the Caribbean or in Africa, you know. It's the same issue. And we still relying on the masters to find solutions.
So what do you think we should do? Tell me. What do you think we should do?
We need radical change.
Like what kind of change? What's a radical change?
If you don't give people a sense of value from school, what a nation should be, what preparation you have prepared them for?
No, all right. Stop. I'm going to stop asking the question now. What is the answer you would have gave for a whole heap of these things? What would, if you was there, what would you do to alleviate what the things that we are talking about?
Home, the values at home. First, you have to start with the home. That's how everything beginning.
By doing what? By doing what? Where you do? Where you start?
You have to go to the base for the community. All the families that function. What are the resources that I invest? We are going to invest to break a cycle. You know? Just like you can buy ship, plane, guns from the masters, you have to see where the route is. Because certain things don't really happen, if it even happen, happen on the surface in a certain community, you know. A Cherry Garden or a Beverly, if certain things even happen, you know, you're not shoot out in there, you know. The same places, the thing happen over and over again. And the only remedy is police and soldier and more legislation. That can reverse it. The tougher them get, I seem like the youth them get tougher. And the youth them a lead the charge, you know. And the politician, the youth them a lead the charge and say, follow it. Go buy more guns. Go make more legislation. And they are following it. They're not telling deliberately so, you know. But I know the government are leading the charge. They are just like dummies.
Yeah, but I still have to ask you, what you think we should have do?
They may say you have to fix it from the home.
By doing what? By doing what? Fix it from the home by doing what?
First thing, the problems we have faced are black people problem. That are the cultural difference.
No, man. We know about the problem. We are talking about what we can do in the homes. What you suggest to be done in the homes.
Black people have to get them sense of value.
How them do that?
And we have sources to draw from. Your program is one.
Yeah.
The philosophy of Marcus Garvey and so many other eras. If they value, they don't come back because we still are looking at the sky. See Jesus. And you're tired to say the same thing over and over again. It means to give all of the facts there now, you know. We don't take too much of your program. We only have to touch a few.
Touch it now? Touch,
you know?
More. Touch some few. Touch the few. Touch it.
Because look at it. we say Jamaica, but how many Jamaicans are here? The cultural value, you see the Chinese use a sling gun and a kill, in the sense that all the black, so it's a black people problem. If we don't solve it with black solution, you know? You know what, the Jews are do the same thing. Because
hold on. Jamaica is 98% African people, you know. So obviously, the majority of the suffering and the crime must come from the majority.
Yes.
If you're going to Jerusalem, if you're going to Israel, the majority of people who in there suffer is Israeli. So it's not like, say, if you don't see the Jews, them. The Jews, them, they have Jews who are suffering.
Our context. So we have to find...
Yeah, but you're not going to see the Jews. But watch out, the Jews is a minute... Brethren, the Jews is a minute part of Jamaican society, you know. Minute, you say minute, like... You can't even count how much Jews there are. Yes, you understand? So
what I emphasize is there's a cultural difference. None of them...
Of course, there's a cultural difference.
They can put on their foot, you know. Now get the whipping, you know.
Yeah, but them do it in a film country.
Yeah. Well, that's a film country and they escape it and come here. So, even the legislation where them continue and make, it coming like it a create more crime than solve crime. Because if you ever use people that get trained at the military academies in England or America to solve our problem, whether they go at the Sanders military school or what, they can't solve our problem. Our problem is historical. And if we don't go to the root of it and how it evolved to reach this stage, no little dancing Andrew or Portia can't solve it. Or Golden.
You want to know, we have to take some ad. If you want, hold on. If you want, come forward. Yes, Bridget, you there still?
Yeah, man, I'm there.
All right.
Yeah, look on it from a political standpoint too. The two party is confederate, you know. It's like a 3-card game, you know. One come with the card, the next one come and show you how to win, you know. So them are confederate. The same thing happen under one, basically happen under the other.
Me call them two-headed dragon. One body, but a two-head. If you cut off one head, it still function. Two-headed dragon, that's what we call it, yes.
Same body I support the two head, you know.
Yeah, man.
And another said thing, said line, it draw right through the Caribbean, you know. The same thing. They still are all the people are subject. The people are not citizens yet. The people are subjects. And they continue to win under the same umbrella. You know? And one I think where the music and Rasta upon a whole, the music is political in a lot of ways. But we can't see that political activism to reach parliament. Just like Rasta, the Rasta movement a political element, or you talk and everything, but still we end up in the periphery. We can't find no alternative to reach a parliament, you know, because that's how the decision making, you know. Until the average person can represent the people at that level, because they still keep on controlling, because, and then again, corporate continue to finance them. They now finance you as you say as a represent, you know. Because they know say they never use you as how them use them. When they want to bail out or they want to lobby for this, you know.
Yeah, so man, me hear you, man. Me hear you.
Let's not break that cycle, you know. And enough elders is around, you know. peer with it, and they know most of it be upon the to go to Parliament, but a next generation.
Look at now. EL. After you man a line for fish, you know, if you ask you to catch a fish for him, no, that's a problem. So when I look at all of the heroes them we pass through, you know, and some young people rise up against the system, you know. Me I talk about like Paul Bogle, me I talk about like Sam Sharp, and an old man like me and you know. So when we there motivate ones and ones that say, yeah, but we not motivate, but what we not do. We are give the line for catch a fish. You can't tell me no to catch a fish for you. That's why I don't have no problem with a man that tell me, say, boy, right now, all you do on the radio is talk. That is what I come to do. I come to talk and motivate people to action.
Yeah.
So all these youth who listening to I know, them can't come turn on and say, yeah, Muta, but you just attack. Of course, it's talking, create war, it's talk, create bad and good. It's talking to certain things, so I don't have no problem with it. You know, see it. I do what I supposed to do. And you must now do what you supposed to do. And don't come tell me now about say, why I do, why not go farm part. You know, must realize, I am big man to most of the youth that may listen to me, you know. So when a man come tell me, you know, about why you not start this and why you not start. We started already. Them get a start where them know says a start. That me I tell you.
The next thing you would like to see, sometimes you have people that talk about Garvey and all the people that have passed you. But I continue to tell people, you know, I don't want people continue to walk around with crutch stick and nothing happen to your foot. You know?
Yeah.
So some people are use Garvey or Selassie or, you know, as a crutch stick to walk on. You don't need to use it as a crutch stick. If them lay a foundation, you could build on it.
Run with the button.
Yeah. Nobody talk, Garvey no much talking. Garvey have political ideas where even within him time never see come to any fruition, you know.
Yeah.
So who I talk about it to get it done at any level.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Give thanks to the meet again.
We have to move. Give thanks, Bridget.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Blessed man.
Muta.
Yes, I.
Long time you zombie they don't call you.
Long time you call me.
Long time you good zombie they don't call you.
The zombie them going to go sleep.
I want of them this, you know.
Oh, you are one of the zombie them?
Yeah, one from center, man.
Yeah, where you wake from me for, man? Go back, go sleep, man.
We have 50 pounds of ginger for you.
You have 50 pounds of ginger for me?
Yeah.
So how me will get it?
Yeah, I have to come for Muta.
I have to come for you.
And what's in terms of ginger, you?
You know, say, how you remember, you know, say, if a man say, I'll give you 50 pounds of ginger and you can't go feed, or somebody go feed for you, something wrong with you. You understand? I tell you, if a man offer me 50 pounds of ginger, me say, me can't go feed, something wrong with me, man.
And the youth, the school general, they go ginger tea morning time, but I want to give him a ginger type thing.
You have to tell me which part of St. Thomas is there, because I don't go time me see you in the square.
In a man, dear man, nobody you turn him part two from St. Thomas.
No, me know, but me I said the uncle time me see you in the square.
Yeah, man, I just come to locate most of all, Muta. I know that you have a house upon the street, you know, so we don't let the street. If I'm a bush there, we don't let the street, you know, Muta.
You know, go make me come clear St. Thomas and a joke you make do, you know.
The last time you come around, be me in the crowd, you know, but he didn't never ready, me couldn't show up.
So the ginger ready now?
Yeah, till after December, I had to go that time I was slow with Muta.
So when me for come?
Marant, you across the bus park, Marant there.
All right, here we are going to do. Left your number. Where you are? No, you know, yeah, tell me, you know, when you call the operator and left your number, you know, tell it over there.
I'll call you after.
If you tell it after the year, a whole man could have turned up out there without shoes and said them a Muta.
You know, for a long time, that ginger about the motor. My boy can't come and send them some food to tell them motor.
All right, sir. Remember, man. Remember.
And, you know, when I say motor, one advertisement I go on the radio, I don't like. The one where the transport that talk about welcome to this and that. I don't like the advertisement.
What say?
Like I say, the vehicle, if you continue to drive on the left, and if you continue to stay on phone and things like that.
Why you don't like it? Why you don't like it?
It sounds like the advertisement I seek for the devil.
No, I don't understand what you say.
The advertisement.
If an advertisement I tell you say must drive on the left and take down your cell phone, what devil have to do with that?
Yeah, but to him advertise it on the first part of it, I show like say if you continue to do that. But after you
no, him a show look here. You have to understand how the language go, you know.
Me understand it in a motor, but you need to flip it on the other side.
No, but you know, you always go at the last part, right? At the last part, you check fire, I don't know the first part.
Yeah, when you crash, now you must say, you know, another thing must say, you understand? But to that one, I will have them, I don't like that one.
All right, sir.
Yeah. And one little last thing on the motor, we have got the artist, they have to try point them lyrics for one different side and now in the motor.
Yeah. Like which side? Which side? Which side them to point it?
More cultural practice and them all them thing that the lyrics are point for a different angle when I look on it for a good while now.
Yeah. A true man.
The artist, they don't see the thing I know where we most can talk on something we see happening, you know, because they don't like when we talk the truth in the mud. But we see it, you know, we most can talk it smooth, and we're supposed to can start get prosecuted with the righteousness, you know.
All right,
you
sir.
know?
Yeah. All right, so you want to know.
Yeah.
You have to leave your phone number with the operator outside there, you know.
Yeah, man.
Call the operator again. I would like you to call and can't get through, you know. Call the operator again. And tell them, say, you are the ginger man. The zombie. And then now, I will call you. And the day when I come, I will say, all right, I will meet you out at this, so.
Man, you across the bus park, and that's when I leave it. Any picnic you come ask the part to enjoy you.
Yeah, but I will ask somebody for part two. I will call him. I will call him on the phone and tell him, I'm there, Moran be here, so now. All right?
Yes, Mamuta.
All right, give thanks, Bridget.
I sent Thomas people and we still read part to Mamuta.
All right, sir.
We did that.
All right, I'm going to go back to this again. We're going here, so. Here we go. Here we go now. Yes, we will say, on a bigger level and a next level, we're still in a Black History Month. We have about 2 weeks left out of the month. You know, it's the shortest month we have here, so we have to make use side. We have to stop complaining, say, you have a fine what people find, say them are complaining. So, boy, why them give the shortest month? And the people them who say, nah, do nothing as it relates to Black History Month, you know. All them are cussing at talk, but boy, them should have given you the whole year. And not even a week out of Black History Month, them will take up all the book. It's ironical. Yeah, man. Most of the people, them, we are complaining about Black History Month too short in February, them should have given a year. Most of them not taking on the book, them just attack. It's like most of the artists when Mary sing about every man them get up and go up on them knee and pray. Lie them a tell. Lie them telling. Some of them don't, they are them yard in the morning. You understand? Up a man talk about them every morning them pray and all them something there. Lie them telling. You understand? Them just saying those things because it sound good. If you say it. Saying it because it sound good. I'm going to see what on the phone. Yes, EL.
Honorable.
Blessed.
Wagwan.
Cutting edge.
Yeah, cottage. 1966, when His Imperial Majesty...
Oh, you again. You again.
Like Africa come here.
What is it? No, start again.
1966.
Yeah.
When Selassie come here in a plane.
Yeah.
Airport.
Yeah.
Norman Manley Airport.
Yeah.
And he gets escorted in a vehicle.
Yeah.
By King's House, no sir?
Yes.
So hard in this judgment, you see. When the Bobo judge might tell us, Prince Emmanuel say, Prince, His Majesty pay him a private visit. And come here by plane and take a taxi. Come to Western Kingston and the next visit up a Bobo Hill. Why not hard in that POC?
Because no go so.
Is a little fighter, you mean no go so. Prince Emmanuel tell you so.
Me say, no go so. No go so. I say, no come and take no taxi go a Bobo Hill.
Mr. It's Prince Emmanuel
All right.
liar.
What else you have to say?
And you talk about we are liars.
What else you have to say?
Listen.
Every day, why you come from the program all the while and not cuss me, Rasta?
Burn to fire your judgment.
Burn to fire, I'm going to out the fire with water.
You're a fireman?
No, I'm a waterman. I'm a waterman. I'm not a fireman. I'm a waterman.
I'm not in the fire. If you're a fireman.
Yeah, man, you get drowned in the flood.
The next thing you say.
No, I'm tired to hear what you have to me about.
You talk about man a liar.
Enough for that. Every day, and look here, last week, a week before last, I have the Bobo house, I have them attack, and we attack very decent to each other. So, all the man then are cuss, and I never cuss them. Why me never getting that? Why, Virgin, why don't go to your bed? Go read the Psalms and drop asleep, man. I go hug up your wife, and stop call the program and annoy me. Cha. Just go read that psalm. Just you 2 and 9, brethren. You don't have nothing to do them more than night, man. How much o'clock? 14 minutes past 1. And every time you call for come cause something, Rasta. I saw you hate me, man. Me say, I Selassie never come here in a no taxi and go to Bobo Hill. That is madness. It's madness to tell the people them. And anybody else who say that. Other brethren who tell me that years ago. I Selassie never come here in no taxi and go to Bobo Hill. You could have plead little more and said little more. No go so. Yes. All right. So we will take that word, Smith.
Yes.
Yeah, blessed.
Professor Robert, he'll never tell you something about Bobo Chanty, Prince Man, and never get paid. Don't have Jamaica Institute. He never tell you that. In the presence of I Bobo Chanty. That a lie too. The little judgment sell out. The whole house get sell out. And buy out. Look at judgment ball. I know your Jamaica government call up a King's House and give award right there. I know you. Your service to them government, to Jesus society. Look at judgment struggler. You can't fight Prince Emmanuel. You can't walk in a Prince Emmanuel shoes. You can't even unlatch in Slash society. In Slanders Lasset. You can't fight Prince Emmanuel. You can't walk in a Prince Emmanuel shoes. You look at judgment struggler. The whole out to get paid from CIA. Them pay out to fight against judgment by Prince Emmanuel. You look at judgment struggler. The whole out to get paid from CIA. Professor tell you that. Professor Robert will tell you, Muta, and Bongo Jerry, and Bobo Santi down at Jamaica Institute. Institute of Jamaica, you remember that? Professor Robert will tell you, Muta, and Bongo Jerry, and Bobo Santi down at Jamaica Institute. Institute of Jamaica, you remember that? Professor Robert will tell you, Muta, and Bongo Jerry, and Bobo Santi down at Jamaica Institute. One man no get paid. The hungry man no get paid, the man receive the Lion of Judah imperial insignia, like a judgment struggler. The hungry man no get paid, the man receive the Lion of Judah imperial insignia, like a judgment struggler. The hungry man no get paid, the man receive the Lion of Judah imperial insignia, like a judgment struggler. Muta, if you come at school room, come learn something. Yes, ma. So, you're there with me now again?
Yeah, man. I'll angle me delicate in the morning. I hear, sir. Angle me delicate.
No, man.
Yes.
Come to learn, you know. We don't come for this.
No, I never say no. Come to say angle me delicate.
All right, ma.
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
All right, now. You have a thing named the insignia, you see?
Who have the insignia?
We might talk about it. And the queen of one too. Don't.
Who you talk about?
The Rasta betting before. You remember I talked to the Selassie I come leave an insignia with
Give Prince Emmanuel, yeah.
So that's the insignia of some form of authority to it.
Well, look, all right. You see, he may not want to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Him give a gift to a virgin, the mystic revelation of Rastafari too. When them in there, when them in the king's house, them give them a gift. You understand?
So that gift now...
Like Prince Emmanuel is the head of house, and them give Prince Emmanuel a gift. So to me now, His Majesty just showing him love and gratitude to the Rastafari Virgin them who hold fast to Ethiopia, film country. Because Mystic Revelation of Rastafari was in there too.
Oh.
Many houses of Rastafari was in there. You know?
Okay.
So
the gift...
The most standout picture to I was the one where His Majesty has shake Prince Emmanuel, and that is why I tell the Virgin, say, I have that picture. I used to have that picture in my shop for years. You understand? So, yes.
And Prince Emmanuel I resurrect now in time, you know. You know what he said? His name I get called like Marcus Garvey and
no, I don't know. I don't know. From them time there until now, I don't know.
But no,
man say, Holy Emmanuel, Marcus, let me talk about a trinity of Marcus Garvey.
So is that Emmanuel there when man say, that Emmanuel that they matter about?
Then who you think he matter? Who you think the bubble they matter about?
I think it was Selassie in one.
No, all right. All right, watch out. Hold on. Let me Prince Emmanuel, Marcus Garvey, and Haile Selassie, 3 in 1. So when them look upon Prince Emmanuel, they must say Haile Selassie. So there's nothing funny about them saying Prince Emmanuel is Haile Selassie, because a 3 in 1 thing them I work with. I love the concept. The only problem I have with it is that them use the Bible to validate it, when it really come from the heart and the soul of African people in this part of the world, who develop something for themselves. Them now use the Bible to validate it. But I think it's a beautiful idea and a concept.
Okay, so...
Yeah.
But not straying too far from me, we that I understand still. So the gift where Emmanuel gets from Selassie, the thing named the insignia, it now have
no insignia. All right, you are them call a whole part thing insignia. The insignia is the thing where the Governor General have upon him chest.
It's like a label, yeah.
The thing where the Governor General have upon him chest with the white man upon the black man neck. That is an insignia.
And that you represent the Queen, means...
Yeah, but Haile Selassie gave them something that represent Ethiopia.
Yes.
Yes,
that need one
Ethiopia.
Okay. So it like Selassie was a king now, crown, you know.
Yeah. He was the emperor of Ethiopia.
King. Yes, of Ethiopia.
Yeah.
The Queen and the Queen them rule is kind of different from Selassie rule, because the Queen them deal with like a different governance from what Selassie governance is.
I don't understand. What do you mean what different governance?
Like the Queen them riches and royalty stay within them bounds, and them family them deal with a thing them royalty in terms of
every king deal with royalty.
Yeah?
Every empire deal with royalty. Every king deal with royalty.
But me that Selassie I not come up to the line, baby.
Not come up to which line? Royalty?
Royalty line.
Oh, you mean him not come up with royalty line?
But
you never hear
it's not him family, it's him father, and him father never forget Selassie, he never come to him father cousin or him father sister.
Yeah, man. Them trace according to the Ethiopia church. Them trace the lineage 225 to Menelik the first, who them say was the son of the Queen of Sheba and Solomon. That is the royalty where we are talking about, according to the Ethiopian them. Solomon, according to the story, Solomon had a relationship with the queen named Queen Makeda. She leave.
Queen Makeda was not his family.
Vietnam, man. Vietnam, I tell you something. Queen Makeda have a son with Solomon named Menelik.
Menelik, that's a Selassie father.
No, that is Selassie. I tell you something, man. Queen Menelik was the king of Ethiopia as it relates to Solomon and Sheba, according to what them call her. Well, the Ethiopian them say Makeda. Now, the Ethiopian them say that Haile Selassie is the 225th emperor descended from the lineage of Solomon and Sheba. That is what them say. Them say Haile Selassie descended from Solomon and Sheba. Sheba, yeah, she was a queen. Makeda, them call her.
Queen Makeda.
Yeah. All right?
Yes, boss.
So this is saying no turn out no war, though. This is saying no running no war.
And them way them would have love fear. We have to come kind of make them younger when they don't understand.
Yes, it's not that I love fear, but it's when a man come around and jump up like same ass.
Because, all right, then no. Here, the man I say, Selassie, I left an insignia like the queen. So me I say, but, and it's so silent, because if the queen leave an insignia out here, and the governor general, we are power at the highest.
No, man, that's no. See, insignia is not, watch out, it's not.
Look at like an epaulet, Muta then.
Yeah. It represent a farm of farm of. You can identify it with something.
Okay, then even himself make it seem, but him not realize when he come and say that to Conrad, it seems like this insignia give the Governor General a power.
No, but he never get. No, but Haile Selassie never get the Governor General the insignia, not the insignia.
No, him say it. Say that him give Prince Emmanuel, so Prince Emmanuel would have come like the Governor General for the
Rasta. Yeah, well, them would have said that. They would have said him higher than Governor General.
Right.
Them would have said Haile Selassie in the flesh, the Black Christ. See, as me say, for years, me tell ones that I'm not take it back. The only problem me have with that is because them use the Bible to validate it. And I don't think we're at a stage where everything where we do to connect ourselves with Africa and our redemption, we have to use the Bible. That's all I say.
I see traces. Yes, I see them. I use traces of the Bible for sure.
Yeah, well, man, if I said Trinity, 3 in 1, 1 in 3.
Like ice muff, like where you have to, ice muff.
Oh, Rasmus, a foolishness. Rasmus, a foolishness.
It's for Jesus celebration and things,
yeah.
You know.
Anyway, we have to move though, you know. You have to turn off the radio.
Yo, Mota.
Yeah, man, blessed man.
Yes. You know what I say to you, you know?
Eh?
Me I say, you see?
Yeah.
Two times for the week, get up on the radio, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you play the little girl song where you say you promote.
Oh, you never hear me play it?
A good while now, I hear you play.
No, man, no good while, man. Oh, yes, man. So you want to hear it?
I mean, man, I hear the little girl, man, call the little girl bad, man.
Let me know. She good.
Yeah, she good.
Yeah. So, well, tomorrow I'm going to play it.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. I mean, when I say tomorrow, I mean...
What you say now?
Yeah.
Like what 2 times you're on the radio for the week?
Yeah.
You play one like today and you play one tomorrow.
You love her, man. You like her.
Yes, man.
All right. No, definitely. Tomorrow, little more. Not even tomorrow, little more.
All right, sir.
Yes. Give thanks, Virgin. Give thanks for the interest, too, you know. If she's nice, if she did all a week now for hear where you say that, you know.
All right. Well, I know you this one, no, him not talk to. The Imperial, Lion of Judah, insignia.
EL. Yeah, listen to me. Are you not listen to me? Yo. What, you don't want to talk to me, Virgin?
Yeah, man, I talk to
you. No, you're not talking. No, wait, no, man. Me want to talk to you.
We soon come to you, man. Look at this one,
On my program, I tell me, say, you so come to me, you just want to talk. So. Brethren, you do have a wife. Go to your bed. I want to give thanks to the moment and the time and the energy for those of you who sit up with me, including the brethren there. We sit up with me straight to the end. Give thanks for him. So you I said, oh, as we said, we'll come forward a little more from 2 to 5:45 with the stepping razor, the art of war. You understand? And I want the brethren who talk about the ginger, I hope him left him number with the operator outside, you know, because I'm not joking. You understand? And I want to tell one of them, say, it's a different program tomorrow. It's not the same thing you have here. Totally different. We make sure so we don't make the two programs them stay the same way. Even though sometimes we bring over some things from that one here to the next one. Especially when we feel it's very important that the people them who did not sleep never hear what we say. We have to say it again. And so it go. You understand? But we say give thanks. We there how long with you? 20 odd years, 28 years, I go to 29 years. And we still go strong. Number one program in the night at this time of the night. From how long now? So, yeah. Give thanks to all the people them who make it away there. You understand? And even the brethren who call a while ago and talk about him son who, yes, get big now. And him just listen and it really help him and shape him vibes. We give thanks for all of those stuff.
This is the cutting edge on IRFM there with you next Wednesday.